Hello everyone, my name is Shadow, and I'll be your entertainer this evening. Going to be playing some more of Don't Eat the Cashier, in which we have successfully been not eaten so far. Hopefully that will continue. But this should be the correct one. Well, that was an interesting encounter. We just finished meeting a vampire who successfully did not eat us, despite coming in very hungry. Really could have turned him in, but I didn't want to. Yeah, let's hang the drawing on the wall. It's a nice drawing. Someone obsessed with ass-related threats, he really was. Surprisingly, his hands are quite skilled. Now, I also have a date invitation from a guy who wanted to make me his dinner half an hour ago. I survived another visitor. Seems I'm starting to get used to this job. Wiping off the sticky residue, hoping it was just spilled soda from the counter, I suddenly hear the crunch of gravel outside. Hooves? Yep, hooves. This is definitely not another vampire. You never know, you haven't seen vampires very much. The stranger leans against the counter, trying to look casual, but the way his tail twitches betrays his nervous tension. Hi. He clears his throat. Hello, sunshine. My name's Victor. Aren't your parents pirates by any chance? Aren't your parents farmers by any chance? I took his awkward attempt at flirting and made it my own. Now I'm the captain of this ship, since I am a true descendant of pirates. Victor nervously taps his foot on the floor. No? Then where did they get such a sweet peach? His face instantly lights up, so much so that even his ears are smoking, it seems. Thank you. He shuffles his foot. Actually, I wanted to give you a compliment. I mean to flirt. Victor makes vague gestures with his hands, as if trying to describe a complex mechanism that just exploded. It was all supposed to go completely differently. You were supposed to blush and giggle, and you broke it all. So, he believes this was really supposed to work on real live people. His face is burning. Victor takes another deep, frantic breath. His stomach is growling so horribly. I hope the guy's okay. Is it really that bad? I mean, is my flirting technique really that terrible? It could have been better. So you're saying there's a chance. Thank you. I'm still learning. He seems hungry. So I'm not that bad. It wasn't completely disgusting. His hooves tap a rhythm on the floor. Alright. Could have been better. I can deal with that. This is constructive criticism. Maybe the problem was the presentation, or the pirates. Pirates are cool, right? Everyone loves pirates. Wait, no, don't answer. I'm talking too much again. He coughs shyly and mumbles something to himself. Then he shifts his gaze back to me. Actually, I'm here to acquire... Doesn't get to finish. We have a visitor. Stands next to the counter, clicking her mandibles impatiently. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't realize I had a counter window here. I thought this was part of that shelf. You can't see where my mouse is, I'm realizing. The space that the photos are hung up on, I thought that was just the end of the shelving. Two packs of Brapsy, one pack of screaming cheese, and a bag of fairy fingers, darling. By the way, your gas attendant is a real sweetheart. It's frightening to imagine what my invisible colleague looks like. He hasn't even bothered to say hello. And hurry up, I need to rush. I have a lot of work waiting for me today. I'm starting to pack the order. At the same time, this Incubus awkwardly tries to hit on the lady. And I thought we had something special. Apparently, the failed Casanova decided to try his luck on a new victim. Wow, you seem so busy and cool, ma'am. And you must have a very wonderful job? She starts clicking her mandibles energetically, producing a buzzing sound that vaguely resembles laughter. Dude, I don't think you want to go for her. She looks like a praying mantis. They tend to decapitate their lovers. Wonderful. Oh yes, wonderful. Wonderful for those who don't like to eat, sleep, or see their children grow. Really the best job in online worlds. Speaking of children. Victor barely recovers from her sarcasm when the lady immediately pulls out a wallet from her bag and unfolds it. Over and over again. It seems endless. This is Gugu. He has his father's mandibles. Is the father still around? Victor gazes into the abyss, and the abyss gazes back, revealing baby pictures. The seduction attempt has failed again. Like any mother, Lady Mantis loved her children and considered it her sacred duty to tell every passing incubus about them. This is Gugu. He's in his rebellious phase right now. He pierced his mandibles. Can you imagine? He makes such a racket when he eats. The image of a larva in a biker jacket makes me snort. And reminds me of David. Of course it does. This is Gigi and Gaga. They're still larvae, but so talented. What talents can larvae have? They just lie there and eat. I do too, though. Wait, don't think about that. You have very beautiful children, ma'am. All 20 of them. Incredibly cute. That's just the first wallet. Help him. Help him. Oh, I got a bit carried away. I really am in a hurry. Here, your money, darling. Victor watches her disappear into the night and turns to me with a grateful look. Thank you. I couldn't handle 20 more kids. To be honest, I already broke down at the 8th. I thought looking after a cat was hard. The lady left very little in tips. Probably all her money went to her children. Victor suddenly remembers that he came here to buy something. However, my visitors rarely recall that. I need a book. Victor scans my stinking supernatural realm of discount rot and chocolate bars. It's, a guide. Or, well, you know, succubi and incubi. Can't remember what it's called, but I've definitely heard something about it. Could you take a look? It's definitely not for me. It's for my, less experienced friend. I'm, you know, employee of the month in my lair. He didn't specify whether he was the worst or best employee of the month. Well, you know, life force harvesting for dummies or something like that. I hear him mumbling quietly to himself. Such a shame. I should have stayed home and rewatched Evangelion for the 10th time. I'm heading to the storage room. Just a few hours before, I was rushing around here looking for blood for a very hungry monster. Now all these vials, eyes, and tentacles seem less ominous. A gigantic dead moth lies on top of one of the boxes. Or perhaps it's just very tired. I'm rummaging through the book section, deep in between baboon metaphysics and limits of patience of your dead servants. I find the desired volume. I come back from the storage room, holding this forbidden, mind-bending treatise titled Everything You Ever Wanted to Know About Demons, and Everything You Didn't Want to Know About Them. Wow, this is definitely better than those PDF guides from various sites for... never mind who. Clearly not for the whole family. Let's study it? Yes, it would be very unusual if you just paid me, tipped me, and moved along. I expected too much from this life. But in fact, this will be an entertaining educational lesson. It certainly won't be unnecessary. And the guy looks like those pictures are enough to make him faint. The sooner this is over, the sooner I can send him on his way. That's too close. We find a cozy spot next to the counter. I pull the grimoire. I don't think I'd call that a grimoire, but sure. I pull the grimoire closer. I open the book and the pages, yellowed and brittled with age, release a cloud of dust and indecent, horrifying desires. Incubi, the nature of the tempting rogue, moves of desire. Yeah, that definitely looks like him. Exactly how he looks. Tempting rogues? Oh, that's me. Yeah, definitely me. Hooves are just like mine. You have no idea how awful they clomp. Especially on tiles. Goodness, how is he the wholesome one? When you sneak to the fridge at night, the whole house wakes up with you. Everyone thinks there's a big, clumsy cow living in your apartment. They're all purple. Or sleep paralysis demon. He didn't look like that. Yeah, I think you really are an incubus. They're all purple. Oh, you're right. All incubi really are purple. I thought my skin color was just some kind of coincidence. You know, like when you create a character in a video game and just spin the color wheel until you stumble upon something weird. He gives me a cautious look, as if not entirely sure about the coolness of his purple hue. I like purple. In case you couldn't tell. By the way, I was created in Spore. I like purple. Too bad I'm not purple. His face immediately brightens with a smile. Yeah, well, I think it's pretty cool too. It's nice to know you like my... what's it called? Demonic phenotype. Uh-huh. Victor turns his attention back to the book and runs his clawed finger down the lines. Incubi, appreciators of the vibrant hues of the soul, draw power not from blood or life force, but from pure, potent energy of mortal emotions. And although a refined bouquet of positive emotions is the preferred ambrosia, what a fancy word. A practitioner can also sustain themselves with more coarse, fickle energies of negativity. Despair, horror, humiliation provide a quick, albeit unpleasant, rush of power. It's no wonder that now, after an argument with someone in the comments, I feel like I've gained a few raisins. Judging by the expression on his face, he clearly isn't cut out for horrors and humiliations. This limit is probably arguing on 4chan. Also a kind of source of horrors and humiliations, but still, it's a bit different. An incubus can, albeit less effectively, form a symbiotic connection by feeding off a single consenting mortal vessel. The mortal vessel, in turn, can absorb some of the power from the incubus, among other things, their immortality. Well, that's kind of a cute thing to add. So they can be, like, monogamous. Wow, sounds like a decent deal. I certainly always have plenty of emotions. Mostly hatred for the fact that to earn money you have to work. A whole mountain of raisins for Victor, or whatever he called it. What a relief. Just one person. The thought of having to chase after a whole bunch of strangers makes me feel sick. Yeah, strangers are the scariest thing after rent. Yeah, I totally understand you. It's probably even harder to deal with clients like me. You're actually not as bad as I was expecting you to be perfectly honest. Communication is already a horror show in itself. Then you add literal horror, vampires and ghosts. Just a nightmare. He really looks at me with sympathy. He feels sorry for me. I don't even know how to react to that. Trying to understand what people want from you is quite the challenge. It's like trying to play a game, with its rules changing every 5 seconds. And someone has turned off your screen, and you're paralyzed. Basically, yeah, I completely get you. Hold on, I was ready to just completely not like Victor just for being an Incubus. This guy actually... Huh, this guy might be my favorite. Huh. Victor flips through the grimoire, reading the chapter titles. Techniques of rogue seduction. Juicy emotional juices. They don't have to call them juices. Using lascivious... What? Lascivious energies for thaumaturgical purposes. I don't even want to know. I just want to not starve without energy. Maybe pay my rent. I don't need to be the lusty cousin of Dr. Strange. His finger finally jabs at a random chapter title somewhere in the middle. Love letters. Seems completely and irrevocably outdated, especially that part about carrier pigeon colors. Love letters? Who writes love letters anymore? This should apply to text messages now, right? But this is a good start. Let's work on this before moving on to more complex seduction methods. He pulls out a pen from somewhere. A cheap ballpoint with a little anime cat charm. Aww. I hand him a grease-stained napkin, like everything in this rotten place. Completely different ends of the aesthetic. The book says to convey aching adoration and a hint of forbidden desire. Victor starts scribbling something on the napkin. Oh! Maybe something like this. No. No, Victor, try again. Yeah, I guess this really isn't the most aching thing in the world. He takes a less greasy napkin from me and starts drawing again. What about this? Will you marry me and funny kitty? Wonderful, that lonely, pain-filled tears like the cherry on top. That's better. Oh, thank you, Lord. I guess I shouldn't say that anymore. Lets out a sigh of relief. Wait, so did he get turned into an incubus? So, the key to success is adorable vulnerability. Got it. Less pathetic desperation, more cats. Difference is indeed subtle. Not everyone can catch it. Victor continues to flip through the book, recognizing the desires of the vessel. He scans the first few lines of text. It's all about observing subtle hints, interpreting body language, and engaging in candid conversations to uncover the special nature of mortal carnal desires. He glances at me. What does Vessel Shadow want? The vessel wants money. The vessel wants stable mental health. How about both of those? Fame, love, adoration. I don't know who that is. Human soap and cuddles. Leave work. That's a mood. Human sofa and cuddles would be nice. Oh, great. And pizza, right? Oh, pizza would be nice. In his eyes is genuine sympathy and an understanding of every delicate string of my unfortunate lonely soul. That's honestly quite a simple desire. I think if the criteria for the second person on the couch aren't too strict, I could easily help. Though sometimes I comment too loudly on what's happening on screen. I hope that's not too much of a problem. Ironically, he seems like he'd be an okay cuddle candidate. Sometimes you just can't help but make a stupid comment 10, 20, in 5 minutes. Especially when you know some facts about the movie. We continue to study this villainous seduction manual. The art of verbal seduction and slippery flattery. To his surprise, Victor finds no mention of the fact that pirate compliments work on living people. Amazing. We examine the first paragraph, where words are labeled as keys to the treasure chest of the heart, and flattery is described as a powerful aphrodisiac for the ego. I mean, the mention of a treasure chest might have to do with pirates. Maybe he had something going on there. It's all very dramatic, but the main idea is quite simple. Say nice things, don't say unpleasant things. This is definitely outdated. I tell someone that his eyes are double gateways to the Champs-Élysées. I'll definitely get sprayed with pepper. And this, good lord, when I kiss you, I tremble like a paralyzed beggar? How's that even supposed to work? No, that's too much even for me. Victor clears his throat. His gaze slides over me, trying to latch onto something particularly attractive about my appearance. You have very elegant ear shape. Really? That's what you went for? No, you. Do I? He does have a very nice ear shape, to be honest. Thank you. They're very nimble now. See, he keeps saying stuff like that, like he only just became a demon. He's clearly fully grown, but he's... But there's no instruction for when someone compliments you back. Probably don't blush, and that's something I didn't manage. He takes a deep breath, gathering his courage for another compliment. For a while, he tries to find some foothold to latch onto, but he can't seem to find the words. Hi, Wolfie. Welcome in. You are a very multifaceted person. You combine so much, I don't know how to describe it. But that's not necessarily a compliment, Victor. He lets out a quiet chuckle. But I like that you're so unpredictable. A lot of stress, of course, but it's incredibly fun. Now my unpredictability is a source of stress for someone else. How wonderful. Tilkadaber, I said hi. That wasn't bad, but that also wasn't a first attempt compliment. Okay, I'm gonna tell him that wasn't bad. He smiles gently in response. Despite everything, he starts to relax. He's probably beginning to feel more comfortable. I would never have thought a monster would have to struggle with discomfort from interacting with a mortal soul, and not the other way around. Another chapter, with matching t-shirts. How to be a mirror. I didn't know we could change. Oh, it's metaphorical. The text describes the principle of mirroring, subtly borrowing mannerisms, speech patterns, and even expressed opinions of the victim to create a sense of closeness and understanding. The path of least resistance to gaining mortal attachment. Oh no, what about all that stuff about just be yourself and everything will work out? My mom lied to me, didn't she? Good job, Victor. So glad you figured that out. Similar interests. Ugh, what do ordinary people like? Football and weather? Sure. Good job, Victor. Sure. Definitely not anime and Dark Souls. Discussing the brilliant soundtrack of Silent Hill with people is a bad idea, that's for sure. That depends on the people. Alright, practice. The book says that practice is the key to success. Victor lifts his gaze to me. Play along with me, please, like we just met. ... Beautiful mortal soul, I have appeared to you in half-dreams and so many times, but I finally decided to find you in reality. I won't let you go so easily. He's trying. Even though the words aren't the most elegant, there's something supernatural about them. I still begin to feel a pull. Do I, though? A shiver runs down my spine. Yeah, let's go with this one. You don't have to pretend to get close to someone or make friends. I'd love to talk about the Silent Hill soundtrack. Victor's carefully crafted, seductive expressions shatters into pieces. Yay. His eyes widen. He blinks several times and his gaze ignites with pure delight. You really want to talk about Akira Yamaoka's industrial soundscapes? I mean, I don't know anything about it, but I'll gladly listen. And how they create an all-encompassing sense of psychological horror that reflects the protagonist's inner turmoil? Because, I mean, the use of trip-hop elements in Silent Hill 3's soundtrack is criminally underrated. Criminally. I mean, Yes, mortal, your interest in such esoteric melodies is quite intriguing. He chuckled softly. Nerd. But you're right, pretending is very exhausting. You can never truly be close to someone if you're always pretending. That would also make it hard to find that whole life partner thing, where you're supposed to have someone that you share your immortality with. I don't really need to do that, do I? I just need juicy, sweet emotions. Oh, who am I kidding? I'm the most pathetic incubus in the world. I need more than just that. He's flipping through the treatise a bit longer before letting out a sigh. His stomach growls again. Seems he could use an emotional snack. I think we've covered all the important stuff. I suppose it's time to wrap things up. Starts to rise from the floor. Yeah, no, I'm really curious how this happened. I'll tell you, but promise you won't laugh? I promise. Relief washes over his face. Yes, wonderful. I accidentally sold my soul on the darknet. He holds a dramatic pause. Go on. What an idiot I was. Dropped out of college back then because of constant stress, moved into a tiny dump, and barely left my apartment. I was scraping by with some freelance work. I talked, well, sometimes I chatted with various anonymous folks from 4chan. People without names, gender, or age. And I stumbled upon a stupid ad. What did I have to lose? Definitely not a demon 7566 in the chat offered me a chance to escape loneliness. Later, after I turned into this creature, he told me he did it for laughs. Left no instructions, just wrote "get good" in the chat and deleted all contacts. He was curious to see if I could handle it. His chance to escape loneliness turned out to be putting me in an incredibly deadly situation. He lifts his eyes to me. The memory is a fresh wound for him. Before I can even respond, he jumps up from the floor. But I've already wasted enough of your time. He clops his way to the counter. Well, to be honest, I didn't really understand much. Those chapters are so strange. Lets out a quiet chuckle. But you know what? It was great. I haven't had this much fun in a while. I think I even ate properly. Finally. Positive energy, I mean. Thanks for the lunch. Not sure if I need to pay for that too, but I'll leave some money just in case. His tail twitches awkwardly. I haven't really interacted with people since college killed my will to live. Felt strange not to feel like such an idiot around someone. Thank you. Very much. He tosses some money into the jar, then takes a deep breath and adds, and, maybe someday we could, well, hang out together? Not as a lesson, just, play some silly games, like friends. Maybe talk about more Silent Hill soundtrack stuff. I don't like this because it implies that I'm not going to agree. But yeah, maybe it could be a date. A date? His tail starts wagging wildly, knocking over 3 bags of chips, a can of soda, and a bottle of Gloomy D. I'm in. Of course, I'm ready. He struggles to rein in the flow of enthusiasm and takes a frantic breath. See you then. Goodbye. Bye, Shadow. Good luck with your shift. It was nice to meet you. The gas station returned to silence, broken only by the hum of refrigerators and my own too loud thoughts. So, a crazy god, a vampire thug, and a shy incubus walk into a gas station. Sounds like the start of a really bad joke. My life is now a joke. Just great. I just wanted to pay my bills. Didn't sign up for an interdimensional quarrels and therapy sessions for the undead. But on the other hand, I wasn't eaten. And I wasn't turned into a piece of furniture. By the standards of this night, that's a resounding success. I cautiously glanced at the door to Bob's office. There was a low, guttural humming, like a giant, disgruntled computer tower was working inside. The clock on the wall indicated it was the end of my shift. With a heavy sigh of relief, I began closing up the place. Finally, I walked to the front door, inserted the key into the lock, and was about to turn it when suddenly... Organism. I jumped in place, nearly dropping everything. Organism. Your performance has exceeded all my algorithmic predictions by 47.3%. You are not just an organism, you are an efficient, flawless machine for generating currency. I am feeling an emotion your kind describes as managerial pride. If you keep up the good work, the possibility of receiving a 25% bonus will become not just hypothetical, but quite real. Go, organism. Restore your energy resources, and return for further exploitation. What a relief. He vanished as suddenly as he had appeared, leaving nothing but ringing silence behind. I stood for a few seconds, processing what I'd heard. Then I slowly turned the key in the lock. Click. First shift completed. I survived. And now I can do anything, which means... Return to the store to Bob, a romantic evening awaits you? I have a choice between David, Victor, and Bob. I guess I didn't get a high enough rating with the first one. I don't even remember his name, which, fair. Or I can go home. You know what? We're enjoying our time with Victor. And there's a chance for us to become immortal. I'm calling Victor. Victor promises to come faster than the wind. True to his word, when his car pulls into the parking lot, he nearly knocks over a trash bin. My bad. It's an old, well-maintained car clearly inherited from his grandfather. Inside, it's warm and smells nice. His apartment is exactly as I imagined. A bit cluttered, but cozy. Hey, video games. And soon I get humiliated by the very first boss. Phaedra sits next to me and laughs. It's not that you're bad at this, as you say. It's just that I'm a nerd with a whole lot of free time. His fingers glide effortlessly over the buttons. I felt at ease. For the first time in a long time, no fear, no tension. It's two people playing video games. Yeah. He freezes for a second, and a blush appears on his violet cheeks. He coughs awkwardly, but doesn't pull away. Instead, he gently leans his head towards mine. Shadow, you've made me so happy in just one evening, and I'll do everything I can to make you happy. I close my eyes, listening to the quiet clicking of buttons. An Incubus partner. My partner is an Incubus. And he's better at Souls-like games than I am. For now. Something very interesting is definitely happening with my life. I should have saved before I picked. Let's see if there's an autosave. Would be this one. Yeah, I can pick. Let's see, what happens if I call David? Maybe it was a bad idea. Or maybe it was my best one yet. The creature on the other end informs me in a raspy voice that he'll be here in 10 minutes. And sure enough, soon the roar of a motorcycle shatters the silence of the night. A battered but powerful bike pulls up next to me. Come on, move your ass. Sunrise is soon. Nice. His voice sounds gentle. I move my ass and climb into the seat behind him, wrapping my arms around his waist. He lets out a satisfied sigh. By the way, enjoy today's sunrise while you can. I freeze. I know exactly what he means. This could be my last sunrise as a human. Maybe I want to become a vampire. Or maybe not. Either way, we're making decisions together now. He slightly turns his head. The surprise in his eyes is replaced by a brief glimmer of respect. He looks at me like a tamed wolf, like an equal. His hand covers mine, resting on his chest, and gently squeezes it. Okay, boss, whatever you say. Whatever awaits us, eternal wanderings, arguments over who cleans the blood off the dishes today, and the necessity of pretending to be our own descendants. We'll face it together. The motorcycle roars and heads out onto the highway. Interesting. And my only other... Nope, I've got two other options. Return to the store to Bob. I'm surprised Bob is an option, but let's see. Oh no, Mr. Manager, we're not saying goodbye just yet. I head back to the gas station and push open the door to his office. Oh, I was not expecting that. In the middle of the room, buried under folders and invoices, stood a gigantic, ridiculous canopy bed. And on it, surrounded by rose petals, reclined Bob. Or rather, he wasn't just lying there, he was posing. One tentacle coyly supported his spherical body where a human's chin would be. Others were elegantly draped over the silk sheets. His numerous eyes blinked slowly, focusing on me. Ah, organism, I wasn't expecting you so soon. His voice, as always, boomed in my head, but now it had sultry undertones. I mean, I know he wasn't actually wearing clothes before, but the fact that his tie is off is kind of disturbing. But since you're here, one tentacle slowly, seductively beckoned me forward. I propose we spend the evening in a romantic engagement. Study void biblic enclosure schemes. I took a step into the office and slowly closed the door behind me. I have regrets. Okay, let's see what going home does. I've had enough adventures for one day. The bus arrived surprisingly quick. I climbed into the half-empty cabin and collapsed onto a seat by the window. Outside, the walking city rolled by, ordinary people heading to ordinary jobs, none of them selling discount rot or fending off vampires. My pigsty retreat never felt so homely and cozy. The familiar creak of floorboards, the smell of dust, and cheap coffee all seemed heaven-sent. Didn't even bother with dinner. Just shrugged off my clothes and fell into my bed. Soft, familiar, free of tentacles and ectoplasm. No monsters, no threats, just silence. And pleasant, nightmarish dreams. Well, that was that. I definitely kind of regret the Bob situation, but hey. It is what it is. And that's gonna be the end of things for now. So, thank you guys for watching. As always, if you'd like to see any of the previous episodes that I've uploaded, including the last episode of this game, you can do so on my YouTube channel at Roanoke VT. And if you'd like to see any future games that I stream, you can do so live at twitch.tv/ShadowRoanokeVT. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you next time.